Hey, this is IndigoMusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me right here on another edition of Xperience Sessions is a band member from Cosmopolis. I'm talking about Gavin. Welcome to IndigoMusic.com.
Thanks a lot, Rohit. Nice to meet you.
Now, Gavin, let me begin with you and your band members. You're from different countries. How did you guys meet, and when did this journey begin?
Well, we're really old friends. At one point, we all knew each other in England, and then we kind of went our separate ways. I moved to Australia for a job, and Nick moved to Brussels for a job, and David stayed in England. But we kept in touch, and then we kind of, in a way, we kind of realized that the technology would enable us to make music together. So it's been a really interesting thing, because I think it's something that wouldn't have been possible even a few years ago. But we're able to do the kind of thing we're doing now. I mean, we're thousands of miles apart here talking to each other, and that's kind of what we do with Cosmopolis. We work separately, and then we connect up on the internet. We send each other files, and then we try and get together as much as possible. But of course, it's pretty tough given the distances.
Right. Would you prefer making music when all of you are in the studio, in the same studio, or do you think it's easier to make music, you being in Australia and your team members being in Europe?
I think it's sort of horses for courses, really. When we get all together, it's such a brilliant feeling, because you write things when all three of you have that energy together that you would never have done on your own. Right. On the other hand, sometimes it's nice just to think, okay, I've got 5 hours before they even wake up, right? They're asleep, and I'm thinking I can work on these vocals. I can put a little bit of guitar in here. So then it's good to have both, really. But yeah, I think the technology is really helping to overcome that sense of distance, because really, I think the essence of being in a band is that you're together and that you feed off each other. So of course it's very hard to do that at a distance, but yeah, as I say, there are some advantages as well. One of the advantages is, like, we're a 24-hour operation. There's always something going on. There's always someone working on something. You wake up and there's like, eight new bits of guitar to listen to, some new drumming. It's kind of very cool.
Fantastic. And when it comes to band, Cosmopolis, every band or every artist is usually inspired by someone or a band. What about you, and what about your band members? Is there a particular band or an artist that you guys are inspired from?
I suppose there are those kind of classic, very old bands like the Velvet Underground and David Bowie, I think, really important to us. But I suppose as well, bands like Radiohead are really quite important to us. Nick Cave, but there's just so much great music now. It's quite hard in a way to pick your way through the music, because there's so much out there. You really, you rely on kind of recommendations and playlists and so on. So it's hard to know, but I think we're quite eclectic. We listen to lots of different stuff, and we like kind of hip hop, we like jazz, we like rock music, we like pop music. So I think it's kind of an interesting little soup. Like, all kinds of things are going into Cosmopolis, and we really welcome that.
Right. And speaking about different genres, Gavin, right now there's a resurgence of house music. A lot of artists like Beyonce, Drake, everyone is bringing out house music. Any chance that your band may venture into a bit of house?
Yeah, I'm really, especially me, I'm probably the one most into house music of all of the three of us. I think it's not so much that, because a lot of what we write are like quite traditional song structures, but it would be hard to see what the influence of house is on us, except a lot of the sounds that you hear in house music are actually sounds that we incorporate in our music. So we kind of use, the classic drums, the classic drum machine sounds, the classic house synths, the old Roland synths. So we do have those sounds in there, but I guess the beats tend not to be very, very housey beats. But no, I'd like someone to remix for us. That would be pretty cool. We could get a house remix going. That would be brilliant.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope that happens. Now let's talk about Parasite, the brand new single from Cosmopolis. What is the track all about, and what was the whole process of making this track, Gavin?
Okay. I suppose the track is best interpreted as a kind of a political commentary. So who are the parasites? Who are the people who are scapegoated by those in power? How are certain people made to seem as if they're the problem, when maybe the problem is those who are higher up? So I like the idea of this kind of playing with this notion of the powerlessness of those who get labeled.
Right.
And I don't know, your listeners may know Kafka's Metamorphosis, which is kind of a book about somebody who turns into an insect and how this person becomes, kind of outside of society. And that was like a really important book for us as we were like thinking about this song. So yeah, I think it's mostly that. It's kind of it's kind of questioning the way our society works. I guess we live in really quite frightening times, and times where a lot of people seem to be being scapegoated for who they are and what they believe and how they want to exist. And we're kind of making a commentary on that. We don't approve of that. We like the idea that people should be free to be who they want to be.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's actually something to think about. Now, after Parasite, what are the plans for 2023? Another single, an EP, or an album?
Okay, so we've got a single pretty close to being finished. I think I can't think what the working title of that is, but because I'm kind of just fiddling about with the lyrics a bit, so it may change, but that should be out fairly soon. We're at the stage now, we want to put something out on vinyl. We're ready to put our first album out. So I think the rest of 2023, we're going to work hard to put together the rest of the songs for a vinyl release. So that's kind of what we're excited about. And we would love to play live, but of course, in our situation, it's pretty tough. We're thinking about how we're going to be able to do that. Maybe we could play a few gigs somewhere. That would be ideal for us, but we'll see.
Well, looking forward to that album and looking forward to your future releases as well. Gavin, thank you so much for taking some time out and having this chat. And of course, your tracks are going to be playing in India, in Bangalore, and in Goa as well. So yeah, congratulations and all the best for your future releases.
Thank you, Rohit. That's really nice. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all. One of the interesting things, just before we close, when we see kind of our, when you sort of see your streaming information, we have quite a lot of streams in India. We seem to have a lot of interest in our music in India. So it's great to talk to you. And I'd just like to say hello to all our fans and thanks ever so much for streaming us, listening to us, buying our tracks on Spotify and Bandcamp and so on. So we really appreciate it. Without our fans, we'd be nothing. So thank you so much to everybody.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much, Gavin, and we'll connect soon.
I hope so. Take care, Rohit. Lovely to talk to you.
Same here.
Bye for now.